Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I'd be driving down the road in traffic, talking to myself. And that would look kind of crazy since I have a voodoo doll sitting in the seat next to me. Now guys, I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit worried about the future. I look at this draft. Now, there's no guarantees on any of these guys. But from the outside, in the early look at the players we pick, they're in places where we need with the best available talent and evaluation. Time will tell how good it is. But coming on the backs of last year's draft, where you got a franchise quarterback rookie of the year, you got the running back of the year, FedEx Ground Carrier of the year, Zeke Elliott, you got a good cornerback in Anthony Brown. You got Collins, a good defensive lineman. You know, and if Jalen Smith becomes anything, I dare say you can look at this draft and say it may be the best draft that the Dallas Cowboys have ever had in their history. Flat out. And you look at how this team has been built. You got 3 offensive linemen. Cowboys draft picks. Dez Bryant, Dallas Cowboy draft pick. Jason Witten, draft pick. You got Pro Bowl players across the board on this team that were all drafted. They weren't free agents. Because, see, you build a team in the NFL through the draft. Yeah, you can supplement a team with free agents, but when you start looking at a pass rusher being $10 to $15 million, you can't afford to try and build a team through free agency. Because when you draft a guy, I don't know if you realize this, but our whole draft class will only be about a $4 million draft cap hit this year. $4 million. And you got a guy you can lock up for 4 years that you don't have to negotiate with. It's all slotted on how much you got to pay the guy. And you're going to have a guy who's going to bust his ass because he wants to get the big payday in 4 years. So all the incentive is to draft well, to get guys that are going to play well. And for the most part, the Dallas Cowboys have been damn good at that. The Dallas Cowboys have had more Pro Bowl players drafted in the last 5 years than any other team in the NFL. That's why I feel great about our future. Because we are handling business the right way. We're building a team the right way. Doesn't mean we'll win the Super Bowl this year or next year, but you look at what you are doing, you're giving yourself an opportunity to do it. Now the problem is, when you're successful, other teams want what you have. They want your free agents. They want your coaching staff. And they're going to want your head of your scouting department. In fact, I'm surprised that Will McClay isn't a GM for somebody right now. Because when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, before he was put in charge of the scouting department, we were doing some crazy things in the draft. We were just doing crazy things in general. We'd give up #1 picks, like 2 of them for Roy Williams. You know? We were taking 2 picks, a first and a second, to trade up for Morris Claiborne because we were told he was the best defensive player in the draft. We don't do those things anymore. And I attribute that to Will McClay. But I can guarantee you, if this draft class is anything, if we get a couple of starters and an impact player on there, Will is going to be a hot commodity next year for GM. He's like Ozzie Newsome for the Baltimore Ravens. Ozzie is quiet. You don't really hear much about him, but he has run that team where they're constantly getting great talent on the field. Finding guys that nobody else knew about. Excuse me. So I think what's going to have to happen is Jerty Jones is going to have to do something that he doesn't want to do. I think Jerty Jones is going to have to give up his title as GM and look at evaluating Will McClay. Because if he doesn't, I'm afraid that after this season, he's going to go bye-bye. Because I guarantee you, there are a lot of teams that would pay a pretty penny for it. So let's hope that we can keep what's been working together. And it's all up to you, Jerry. You need to make sure you take care of Will McClay. I'm Mark Holmes, driving down the road, talking to you guys in good old Jobu. I can't wait to get home. One more day until the weekend, and one more day until we live stream with you guys at 9 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern. See you guys then.